I don't think so. You're the first.
Well, that's cool. Oh, I see Charlie.
I should get right if I step in. If you're walking to the bathroom, thank you.
Please join in reciting the
You have to stand up.
will never be able to adequately express what has been sacrificed by those who serve in the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, Coast Guard, or National
on a hillside overlooking the Potomac River in the city of Washington, D.C. This site became the focal point of reverence for America's veterans. Similar ceremonies occurred earlier in England and France, where an unknown soldier was buried in each nation's highest place of honor. In England, Westminster Abbey; in France, the Arc de Triomphe. These memorial gestures all took place on November 11th, giving universal recognition to the celebrated ending of World War I fighting. At 11 a.m., November 11th, 1918, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. The day became known as Armistice Day. If the Irish people hadn't realized that World War I was the war to end all wars, November 11th might still be called Armistice Day. For only a few years after the holiday was proclaimed, war broke out in Europe. Armistice Day was then changed to honor all veterans. The first celebration using the term Veterans Day occurred in Birmingham, Alabama in 1947. The event was held on November 11th, the designated Armistice Day. U.S. representatives at retreats of campus proposed a bill to change Armistice Day to Veterans Day in 1954. Congress passed the bill President Eisenhower signed, proclaiming November 11th as Veterans Day. Today, we remember all veterans and their service and their sacrifices.
Good morning. It's good to see everybody today. Great crowd. Hopefully you all got something to eat and was able to visit with one another for a little bit of time. First, I want to thank everybody that puts on this program. It's a big deal. I've told a number of people that this is one of my favorite times bringing everybody in, and it's also about the only time that we bring in everybody K-12 into the same room on a particular day. And so this is a big deal for us, and we appreciate everybody that be here. I want to thank, again, like I said, everybody that has made this program possible, the students for your respect for the day. Can I get a round of applause for those that have helped us? For all our veterans and active military, thank you for your service and the sacrifices you've made and continue to make for our country. Regardless of what's happening around the world or in our country, we have the best men and women fighting for our freedom and liberties we enjoy every day. Could I get a round of applause for our veterans? So, as I go through different speeches, whether it's this one or graduation, there are certain things that I come across, and I try to remember what they are as I get older. And so, as I went through this process, I came across a quote that reflects my thoughts on the incredible work that these men and women do for us. If everyone is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. When a team can't move forward, we might question what success looks like. It's important for us as a society to unite and progress together. Otherwise, achieving success becomes a more significant challenge. I emphasize the word team because it is the essence of people joining forces towards a shared goal and supporting one another. For our brave military men and women, this collaboration is essential. We rely on each other just as much as they depend, just as others depend on them. Together, they defend our nation with a unified mission of promoting freedom and democracy, which is absolutely vital. The success of our democracy and the freedom truly holds the highest importance. We, as a nation, state, and community, must work towards a common goal for the common good. I am proud of this community. I'm proud of our work within the community that helps others. I'm proud of our staff and our students who dedicate their time to our community for accomplishing to make Minden the best place for all who live here. We do this as a team. Our veterans and active service members know this better than anyone. They go all over the world and care for others as a team, working together to accomplish their goal of keeping themselves and others safe. I can't get it. Anyone who has served this country deserves to be thanked every day. And I hope that, as I've said this probably for the last 7 years, that people are starting to do this. I continue to challenge and encourage you to remember that when you see someone who served, to say thank you. I appreciate your service to our country. Can I get another round of applause for her? Thank you, veterans. We are grateful for your dedicated service to our country. Please stay safe. God bless you.
Good morning. I'm Tammy Ryan, the president of the American Indian Auxiliary Unit 94 here in Minden. This morning I come before you to thank the veterans as a unit. We greatly appreciate your sacrifices to yourselves and your country, for your families. We're going to leave you with a salute to sacrifice. For every step of the dust and stains of the line, you understand. In distant land beneath the sky, you fought with courage in your eyes. The weight you bore, the trials faced, left marks of honors. Time can't erase. You gave up confidence, faced the strife for the greater cause for a nation's life. Today we bow our hearts sincere to honor those who conquered fear. Your sacrifice, a timeless flame, the legacy that will remain. With gratitude, we voice our praise for heroes who live freedom to blaze. We stand united, proud and free, as you serve so selfishly. Thank you, veterans.
Our speaker today is Major Brett Willis, U.S. Air Force retired. He was born in January 1967 in rural Skyler, Nebraska. Educated as an engineer, he graduated with a Bachelor's of Science in Civil Engineering from the University of Nebraska Lincoln in 1990, and Master's from the University of Colorado in 1995. Brett earned his commission via ROTC in May 1990 and became an active duty later that summer. He is a veteran of Operation Southern Washington in the decade following Operation Desert Storm, and then Operation Enduring Freedom in the decade following our Harlem. He earned his professional engineering license in 2000 and continues to design, manage projects, and lead people. He was recently selected as a fellow in the Society of American Military Engineers. He retired from active duty in 2002 and moved home with his family to a small farm north of Minden where he is a goat. He has been active at the East Lutheran Church in He represented several Lutheran churches as a delegate to the 2023 LCMS convention in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Brett wears many hats. He is the Minden treasurer of his VFW post since 2012. We are grateful Major Brett Willis has taken the time for this day to share his experiences with us. Please join me in welcoming him.
Thank you for your warm welcome, and I appreciate you here in Minden, Nebraska. This is my first time coming to Minden. Been all over, in many places around the world, but Minden is a brand new experience for me. So I appreciate your welcome. So, on behalf of VFW Coast 9875 in Waverly and Operation Martyrs at East Lutheran Church of Waverly, Nebraska, greetings. So I thank you for the folks here at Minden. I Each one I take pride in because there are many things that happen because of the various things that we do. And because of where we become aware of here, we put on a hat, right? Every facet of your life matters and builds towards the next phase of your life. Everything that you do matters towards the next thing that you do. So I want to begin the presentation today by saying congratulations to the girls volleyball team for winning back-to-back state championships. Congratulations to the girls golf team for runner-up this year at the state championships last year. One X made it to the state competition last year as well. Your accomplishments are huge. Your accomplishments are nothing to be slighted in any way. You should take great pride in it. So I imagine you're wondering, who is this guy? We'll explore some of the hats that I wear. Be it something I wore as a major in the United States Air Force, or be it BMW currently, or as a military. I love the many of you have seen the movie Coming to America. Eddie Murphy like self-deprecating comments as a military. I get a lot in that line. We'll explore some of my hats, and I'll share some more stories as we explain why it's important to talk about our stories. We'll talk more about why I serve and why service is important, and why this little farm boy from Nebraska is where he is today. Running out of space. Associated Red. I'm a veteran of the United States Air Force. Spent a lot of time in uniform, 20 years working in many different interesting places across the globe. This is what's on the slide here to my left, as you might see. Little garden spots in the world called Truck Lagoon, or spots that could, with a little bit of water, could actually sprout green things like Al-Qarsh, Saudi Arabia, or Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, or the valley, the Kabul River in Kabul, Afghanistan. But as I progress through my career, you start with one thing and then the next thing builds on top of that. So you start with working at base level, doing the basic facility maintenance. You learn the basics of project management. You learn how to write specifications. You learn how to design. You learn how to deal with contractors as a government person. And then you become the person that advocates for the money when you get asked to come and be part of the headquarters. That's not everything, in my view. And then you go back to base level and apply all of that information. And then you get selected for higher command levels. Everything is cumulative in where you go. So as you now progress, as you're learning how to do your math tables and learning how to do your A's, B's, and C's, and learning the basics of science, where you're learning to apply civics, where you're identify copper on a science experiment. Were you learning? Oh, I love the election this last week, and all the things that went on with that. You're learning how to focus on what's true and what's not, what's real information and what's disinformation. You're in the crucible. You're learning all these basics that now you're going to apply as you get older and move into adulthood. Everything is cumulative as you're being now developed for leadership. And some of you will get called upon to have higher roles. Now, I'm of the mindset that I don't like to brag about myself. And this over came to me a month or so ago and said, I want you to be our speaker. I'd be happy to. Because as I was recently told, because I'm the guy who likes to find the speakers. I do a job within the Society of American Military Engineers. It's a volunteer position. But you find the people that have the stories to tell. Because I look out here and I see my fellow veterans, and I know there's 1,000 stories. There are things that you guys can tell, and those experiences that you can relate. And I would love for you to be able to ask each one. So let's do a quick poll. Kids, how many of you have a veteran in your family? Show of hands. Wow. That is amazing. That's almost 75%, 3/4. Wow. How many of you have asked them to relate a story about their service time? Not nearly as many. Those stories are valuable. So make me a promise. Tonight, as you go home, make an appointment. Ask. Say, I would love for you to tell me about that story. Tell me about your time in the service. And get to know something that they did. And learn from it. Because those stories, Colonel Allison Black recently told me. Now, I want to relate to you this lady. She was in the belly of a C-130 airplane. She was a mysterious voice on radio. See how far I'm down there. 2 slides ahead of mine. There was a group of people called horse soldiers that went into Afghanistan in September, October of 2001. And they went and fought alongside General Dawson. And we heard about this, and it was all hushed up, it was all secret. And it wasn't until 2015 that this really became about it. They made a movie out of it. You ever seen the movie 12 Strong? Anybody? Starring Chris Hemsworth? God, the guy doesn't get much love from that. This movie is absolutely true. But there was another person. Because I got to meet Mark Match, who was Chris Hemsworth's character. He gave a presentation to the Society of American Military Engineers keynote at the 2015 conference in Kansas City. Excellent speech. And I turned to my friend James Hodges and said, we can finally talk about this in public. There's another person. Her name is Allison Black. She just retired from being the commander of the 1st Special Operations Group down in the corporate field. She was the person who was on the radio developing the C-130 gunship. General Dostum heard her voice. She was it struck him that in a male-dominated area, you need to tell your women to war. You you're that advanced to fight. Mark Measure was very quick to say, yes. And he even taunted because he knew the guy in the Taliban very well. He taunted the guy. He said, they bring their women to fight. Listen to this. He brought up the radio. All of this to basically shame the guy, the Taliban commander. She was basically ready to call in gunfire. And they did, because he wasn't listening. And he marked her, gave her the moniker the Angel of Death. Because they rained in gunfire on the Taliban position that day. And boy, did that change their position. It changed their attitude in a hurry. But Allison Black related to me last month. She said to our leadership development board in particular, and she says, we don't take it to brag about ourselves, but we each have important insights and more stories to tell. It's important to share our stories and relate how our experiences help lead. So, bringing that back, you guys are leaders in training. Some of you will be veterans, and others will not. But you will all experience some of what we're seeing today. That's why you're here. Colonel Robert Daniel had a really annoying habit of asking these young captains when I was at Scott, he says, you would like to come with me? He said, Brett, what have you done for your country today? And there were a few times it's like, sang the national anthem. And there was one time, as you see in the middle picture, my wife and I were standing in the outfield of Dodger Stadium, several years after I was with Scott. We got to present the national anthem just like the Dodger did this morning. Sang acapella in front of a filling Dodger Stadium. Not that crowd, but it was one of those moments where you puff up your chest and it's an honor to be selected, just like being asked to speak today. And there's other opportunities, like being an assistant on the honor flight, to be able to take veterans to Washington, D.C. and assist people. Because you find the most interesting stories when you relate, or when you're listening to people as they're telling you about what they did. They don't think it's all that important, what they did. And that's a common theme too. But as we listen, as we talk, as we relate, we find out that it's more important than we might think. So I want to encourage the veterans, share with the younger generations while there's still time. I hope you're a Bible-believing Christian like me. I mean, we read in Exodus 12 yesterday in church. It says that God established Passover as a memorial. And likewise, we have many commemoration days. Like you see here on the slide, with marching in the July 4th parade in Waverly. We've got many different commemorations, like Memorial Day, where we honor our fallen comrades, or Veterans Day, where we honor people that served and survived the moments. Many, many more than the folks who paid the ultimate sacrifice. So those commemorations, while they may not seem like they're that big a deal, I've learned that celebrating for us, never everybody else. And that's why we're here. We had a chance a couple of weeks ago to finally give a round of applause to a young lady who just enlisted in the Air Force. And as Operation Barnabas is a support service organization for the troops who are in the Ministry of the Armed Forces, it's important to make sure that she understands that there's a chaplain corps that's at the ready for her. It's also important that all of the youth group around her understands that she put up her hand. She said, I solemnly swear to protect the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So giving her that coin in front of everybody else was the whole point. And we took the opportunity to do that. So in our sphere of influence, what do we need to do in terms of sweat, tears, and blood? To achieve our part of the mission, while remembering that we are still in the people. I think it's important that we look back and we ask ourselves, what do you miss most about being in the military? Some of you will say, not a blessed thing. Because it was hard, it was tough, it was 4 years and I got the heck out of there. Others will say, it wasn't bad. Now, a lot of that's going to depend on which service you stand up for here in the band place here a little bit. Some people in the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force will say, we'll do 10, 15, 20 years. And if you're a Marine, say it's very good for. And that is it. And I've seen that come to the morning. Marines seem to be more of a deep brain. I've got a brother-in-law and 3 nieces and nephews who are Marines. And they love it. In fact, one nephew's about to outrank me. He makes temple temper next year. He's also flying in those birds around. So the answer, what do you miss most about the military? Sums up in one word. Camaraderie. A group of individuals, some with wildly different backgrounds, working together to achieve a common goal. And I stress these words under extreme conditions, immense amount of stress, insurmountable odds, but we always find a way to get the mission accomplished. Someone always has your back. So, okay, audience participation time. What are some of your favorite movies about, favorite military movies? All right. Military movies. Okay, some of these are, you know, they make these movies in Hollywood to make the military look marvelous. And I think they do a pretty good job. Because they want people to join up. Because it's fun. Service is important. We can do great things with the right people. And I would encourage you, if you have any desire to be part of the military, we can do great things together. Or you can do great things with the people who are currently serving. My time is going fast. But I would gladly encourage you and help you point you to the right people as well. Everyone in the audience here down in the church. Did anybody mention taking a chance about the messenger? Those are both fairly recent movies. Nobody? There's another side of the military that's there's a little bit of a few roles that you may or may not wish to have, and sometimes you get to do. I got to do the job of death notifications 3 times. That sticks with you. As this over will attest, you see me go to tears in the heartbeat. Because it's a memory that sticks with you right now. It's more than just standing in front of the casket and saying the words on behalf of the President of the United States and great nation. We honor the sacrifice that you soldiers stand for down for Marines did for this country. No, it's worse than that. You have to go to the parents and say, we're sorry to inform you. And it's not like top down when it says, I didn't correct performance, you job right. Stupid. It's not. You don't, that's Hollywood. That's some of those lines are really dumb. It's much more sad than that. So being one of those 2 well-dressed men, that's a job I hope you never get. Well, I jumped ahead a little bit. Should I ask anybody why they served? It's camaraderie. And now it's your turn. It is your turn because you just experienced this thing called an election. I know we talked about that here a little bit ago. But the election is important, and I want to tell you why. According to me. In your civics class, when you learn little things like, and this is going back to audience participation here, is the people in my age who remember Schoolhouse Rock, where we talk about things like conjunction, junction, what's your function, picking up words and phrases and clauses. No, trying to sing. And there's another one that I want to bring their attention because those were done in 1787, I'm told, founding fathers. You're not saying it. Come on, this one goes to we the people in order to form a more perfect union, establish it. Okay. But they set up the preamble. We talk about the what? You got it? Okay. We're talking about the common defense. That's part of the ensure the domestic ready for the team. So this is the part where we mentioned all of the things that you guys have done as teams, sports teams before. The camaraderie that you have demonstrated. You're going to bring on the hardware here. Just like in your sports, being in your sports teams, you've demonstrated discipline and belonging. This goes to duty and responsibility. To be part of the team. Now, some of you will join the military and become veterans. All of you will become voters. I want you to learn to know what it means to be a veteran. The title of my presentation, some of you may remember, but it's patriotism and what it means to be, or what that means to a veteran. So, as a voter, when you see somebody put up their right hand and say, and take that oath, say, I swear to protect the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And some will also say, and I swear to obey the orders of the office of the President of the United States, the orders of the officers of the party, that you respect those who take that oath. And just like you celebrate the few that won that trophy for your school, that you celebrate with them, they brought home a state championship trophy. The few brought it home for all of them. That is the essence of camaraderie and the part of being part of the whole and something bigger than just yourself. Are there any questions? Thank you for your time today.
Everyone who served our great nation deserves more honor and respect than any of us can give in just one day. Americans live in freedom because of our veterans' courage, dedication to duty, and love of their country. On Veterans Day, we honor the brave people who have served in our armed forces to defend our nation. In closing, thank you all for coming today. We hope you enjoy our program and hope to see you on next year. Please stand with me as the color guard retires the colors.
Again, thank you all